Aloha.
Hello, this is Divine Sunshine, and this is the Playground Experience. Q&A, Sandbox Q&A Live. Yeah, so we are on here, and wait a second. I'm missing something. I done lost something. Kathy D, can you help me out? What? I done lost.
I, I can't find it either.
You can't find it?
I can't find it either. April, you know where it is?
Do you know where?
Stop. Yes, stop. You know I know what it is. You know what I know we're looking for.
What am
What are
I
we
looking
looking for?
Self-care, self-love, self-union.
Woo! Self-union. You're not talking about like the union with the DM? I thought we was talking about union with DM because I mean everywhere in Divine Feminines they keep on saying unions are coming. Unions are coming everywhere. I feel like Paul Revere or with the red coats, and they're saying all the readers say union time is here. It is here. It is here. So with understanding that again, that's causing us a little problem for us with that state of waiting about this union here. You've heard on my channel and a lot of others and us also collectively on this playground experience of understanding that we always say that union has to start within. It has to start with you. It's got to start with self-love. And that is one of the issues that I know is this state of panic and you feeling like, oh my God, it's on me. It's almost like a person getting ready to give birth. It's like, did we get enough diapers? Did we get enough onesies? Did we get enough of the crate of the bedding that we need to? Do we have the car seat? Do we have everything? But then you've forgotten about the simple thing is, did you pack the overnight bag? Did you get yourself together? Are you prepared for giving birth to this union? And this is where we are right now. And that's what we thought we needed to go back, because it seems like we got to go back to, like Brian McKnight, back to square one and start all over again and remind us again that don't forget about practicing self-love and what things that you actually need to do in order to prepare for this union. We know these last three. I was just watching K Moon and she was talking about we got like 3 rounds we got hit with as twin flames. She said one of them hit April the 15th. The other one was June the 30th. And the other one is coming around November the 12th. She said the first round was the biggest shock. April the 15th was, we had like the biggest shock, whatever it is in our lives that we had. And then we had June the 30th. We had something really most difficult happened to us around June 30th. That's our second round. And this other one, it shouldn't be that bad. We should already be prepared for it. But she's saying it's like, okay, I kind of got my bearings together on the second round. So it's like a person, I'll go back over in the corner. They got April got the towel. Kathy D got my spit bucket. I'm spitting into the bucket. I'm like, okay, all right, okay, I'm ready. Both of them telling me, okay, this is what you got to do to get into union. And I'm like, okay, one more round of learning, one more round. They're not there yet, but we still got to go in there fighting and punching again. And so this is where we are, and this is where we are going to prepare you to get ready for this third round that they're talking about, get prepared for November. She said the 12th, yeah, that time there. So this is where we're going back again. Our host chime in by April Williams and Kathy D. So what you have about, what have you heard and what are you feeling about this?
Well, I'm getting really there's like multiple sides to this for me in terms of my particular part of the journey, but I'm getting a sense and a call to teach what I've experienced or teach what I know, right? Share knowledge and kind of hold the vibration, hold the line, holding that space. Because there's a lot of pressure being put on us daily, right? Each of us can feel it. Even astrologically, we're all feeling that pressure, but fully just allowing ourselves to hold that higher vibration when the world is like going through some things. Us as empaths, us as creators, us as frequency holders, as twin flames, we hold this vibration. We radiate so much and we're oscillating. We're going back and forth because of the pressure. And I find myself reaching out, wanting to share and have us all uplift together. And that's where, I'm reaching outside of the twin flame community and reaching it as the ever divine, as the all shift of earth, because she is having some issues. I mean, if this was the earth were to have a menstrual cycle, because there's nothing that's as intense, I think, as this, as a feminine. I don't know about men's and their coming of ages, but they don't seem to have the same types of things that happen. We got hot flashes, all up and down the West Coast. We got hot flashes.
I got hot flashes. I didn't know I was imitating the mother guy. I thought you was talking about me. You know these things. Yes. Kathy D, what's up? What you feeling?
Well, I'm just seeing on so many of these different channels, and you guys know how I love to like not watch the video and just read the comments, because that's like reading the back of the book and going forward. But so many people, when we started talking about union and physical union coming, it was like everybody stopped and they dug their heels in and they stopped moving forward. Everybody was then waiting. And it was like everything we'd done, it seemed like had reversed. And especially when you read people that had gotten communication after a long separation, it was like, it was done. It was over. Thank you very much. I'll just wait here for them now. And they just sat down. And that's not how this works, because the minute you do, your vibration drops, and we've got to stay at that higher vibration. And I sent the two lovely ladies a video today, and she made a wonderful point. And I can't remember her name. Do you guys remember her name?
Simone.
And she said, she would go through her house and she would just pick up things and be like, can I live without that? Yeah. Can I live without that? She said her favorite alarm clock. Can I live without that? And then after a few days of doing that, she started thinking about people. And she said she started with her mom. Can I live without her? Now, she never said, would I be happy without her? Would I be joyous? Just, would I be okay? And she was like, yes, she would be okay. Life would go on. And she then started thinking about the DM that way. And when you get to that point where you can say, I'd be okay if I never saw him again. I'd be okay if I never talked to him again. You have released. If you say that and you get a knot in the pit of your stomach, or it feels like somebody just shoved a dagger through you, then you have some work to do, some releasing left to do. And that's the thing. That's what we're still, that's at the bottom of the coffee pot. It's still sticking there, right in those grooves, that fit right on the burner where it gets really hot. And that's what, when the heat is applied, that's where we're still having to get that stuff off. And it's not that they're not moving. It's not the karmic's fault. It's not our fault. It's just the way this works. And the longer we sit here and say, well, it's so-and-so's fault, it's this fault, it's that fault. Oh, well, they're stuck, or they don't understand, or then you know what? We're making excuses. And we just need to be like, okay. And when we release them, we should also release it over the whole adventure over to source and be like, it's with you. Just lead me where I need to be, get me where I need to go, show me what I need to see, but let's keep this train moving. Because so many people have jumped off and they're not going to be ready for the next stop.
Well, that's the, I used to refer to it as anticipating the shot, because one of my exes used to teach shooting, and I like to go out shooting. And when you anticipate the shot, your whole body tenses up, and you're not able to really aim properly, because you're not calculating, you're not allowing for the flow of the force of the shift that happens when you ignite that. when that twin flame energy goes off, you're anticipating, you're holding still, you're not allowing for flow. Now, sometimes when you're feeling stuck, one of the best ways is to kind of go backwards and look where you remember where you had flow. Remember where you began this process of unveiling yourself to yourself, unveiling this higher energy you, and then bring that now into the now, right? With each breath, even the idea or the act of going there mentally charges the receptors within the body to replay that energy experience. And that shifts the vibration around you. Just as bad memories or anticipations of the future, right? You can build up all of these, what's the word? Expectations or ideals instead of being present and accepting and enjoying the now, right? And there is a little bit of fight or flight with the whole world right now. This video dated 2020. There's a whole lot of, you know. So we're all looking for that little bit of hope, and we know that when we get to that point of a twin flame connection, yes, it'll be enjoyable. But these meat suits have a time limit, right? And because of that, you need to enjoy every experience, not just the ones leading up to an experience, not just recapturing the ones from the past experience, but being now, enjoying this now, because that's what we have, is that collection of everything until we're clearly in that bonded union with our other, and we're going into this third energy, and then blip, meat suit, right? So what are you doing in that time? Hopefully enjoying enjoying your self union, being with yourself, being with your family, being in your environment, in the space that you are, and then helping others enjoy that as well. Because the more we share this frequency of love and connectedness and this grace of our divinity, they step into their divinity, and our whole world has this. We're about to have the most altruistic type of society, because we all are in a better word to say shitstorm of intensity,
Mm-hmm.
from hurricanes to floods to sinkholes to fire tornadoes. Have you heard of the fire tornadoes? Aliens are here, people. Everybody's like, what do we do? What do we make of it? It's the end of the Mayan calendar, but it's the beginning of another one, right? And it's the one we create together. I'll share a deep, dark fear. I was afraid I was going to die in childbirth because I didn't know what was going to happen after. I was so afraid of something going terribly wrong because of when I was birthed and how I have a physical disability. There's just something that if I could just provide the best, safest, connected birth for my child, then perhaps I will have left that beautiful legacy, right? So then I had the baby. It really hurt. I made a video to remind myself because I knew I would want another one because they're just so adorable. They tell you. So I made myself a video. Anyway, I was holding my son and I was like, I survived. Now what? Right? This is what our entire world is going through. Most of humanity is, once all of this starts to calm down, because this has to calm down. There has to be an end to this beginning, So when we go into this, it's now what? We have a lot of displaced people. Now what? We have a lot of people that need resources, and the way we were doing it before wasn't sustainable. So what's the best way we can dream this up and do it in the quickest manner as possible? I'm finding that it's harder and harder to get kind of global news, but it's happening globally as well. So we're not talking about other countries really here. They're not even really giving us that information, and we have to go out of our way to find it. But there's fires in Africa right now too.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on. I want to know, because we are a global world. There's more than twin flames aren't just in the United States. We're all over the world. So when we're feeling all of this panic, it can be our brothers and sisters in Yemen or something. You know what I mean? We were bombing Palestine and Israel and all kinds of crazy things I've been seeing. But we're only focused on ourselves right now as a country, and we're not cleaning up after ourselves. So if I take this down to the smaller level, us as individuals, what are we doing to take care of ourselves so we're not sending out chaos, but sending out peace, right? What do people actually need right now in terms of support? Is it you just listening to them? Is it you just, what do you need? Do you need someone to hear you? Do you have any like pertinent questions you want to say to your relatives? This is all shifting. You might as well clear the air right now, right? I don't know. I kind of went off on a far end here, but keeping it back to the self-care. Self-care.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just really truly wrapping up with like how everything is really going at this time, and it's just like a whirlwind. It's interesting. Just I was watching the news, and they was talking about the tornadoes that the hurricanes that it got so bad that we ran out of the regular English words, and now
the name.
now we're going into the Greek. Now, alpha, beta, theta, gamma. I'm like, oh my Lord. So we're down to that. It's like not, this haven't happened in a very long time that we had to go now to the Greek. And so it's just interesting how it's just like, again, to me, it's like going back to the beginning and just starting over again to really make sure that we have cleaned house and gotten everything that we need to in order to start this new earth. I just keep on, can't not stop saying again, it's like this examination, this final examination that we've gotten to towards the end. And we're really trying to see, do we truly have it as the universe and also as us as light workers. I was watching Behatilife, and she was stating also again, you stated something, April, there, and I want them to kind of also know us as light workers. We got to watch it that we're not over giving, that we're not forgetting again as being divines, that we're not forgetting to also, when we're talking about self, that's good about the world, but then you've got to remember that it begins and it ends with you as well. And I think a lot of times, again, this energies that we're in now, as far as with the divine feminine, we are in that energy to really understand and take another introspect as far as how have we played sacrificer, how have we played martyr, how have we played victim, how do we really truly see ourselves as divine feminines, energies within ourselves, as far as us comparing ourselves to where we are now and our place in the world too. This is something that right now with these energies that we have here, the divine feminine energies, is really taking a real introspection, because I like how K Moon has said, if you think about from the way you came into the year 2020 until you're now, we have grown light years. I cannot say from when I stepped in January, I was the same Bertina then as I am now. It seems like even in the summertime, I did like a whew. It's just really, we really have been redefined now. She stated also, I seen the K Moon, she was talking about later on, the divine masculine. It's like, tag, it's your turn to take the baton, and he'll start to actually make the shift, make the changes to go ahead. That means that outward expression, that outward actions, in order to actually do the things and the light year changes that we're going through. So right now, you know, I've seen somebody making comments about the divine masculine. Yeah, it does seem like in the energies with its outward actions, it doesn't seem like they're doing anything, but right now they're kind of getting prepared and they're getting ready. So it doesn't look like they're doing anything. It's like a lotus they're showing me. Underneath the surface is a lot of stuff going on, but on top, it just looked like it's serene and looked like he's just sitting back in the cut and he's all right. But there's a lot of stuff stirring underneath high masculine that you have not a clue about what's going on there. So they're showing me a lotus. There's things going on. And so that's where we are actually at. And when we're talking about this self-care here, we got to get self-defiant too, because I feel us, as I can say even for myself, it's gotten to the point, it's like a lot of pouring out for the collective, getting prepared and getting ready. But at the same time, Myself and other readers, I seen that, and she spoke about that too, K Moon. As far as it's a lot of pouring out, but we're still, some of us are still like in that little rut, like a album. They're not getting out that groove. And when you said about the ones that are doing things and they're like, "Oh, union is coming," I seen them literally like little kids just plop Indian style, and it's like, you got to keep moving. I keep telling like the newbies, you got to keep it constantly moving. Patience does not mean you just sit there and say, I'm waiting for them to serve it to you on a platter. You've got to actually be actively doing something. And I'm noticing that as far as even as me as the reader or the one who's in the spiritual thing, it's like you're giving, 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 but it's getting kind of disheartening because I'm seeing it's this core cluster of them that's right there, but they ain't moving. They're just not moving at all. They just want to stay right into that self-loathing or not moving victim. It's the DM's fault, it's the karmic's fault, and they're not moving off of that stuff. As far as when they're saying about union. So that really kind of like you're kind of self-sabotaging yourself by being in that energy too. And that's some another reason why in some ways I haven't been doing too much of the divine feminine, divine masculine energies, because it keeps them in that expectation. Okay, she said union's coming. Okay, it ain't. But you know, you can't be in that playing hopscotch or that double dutch trying to get into that energy when you're constantly looking for somebody on the outside to validate that. And that's not where you should be at right now. It's really coming from within. You've got to practice that self-love. There. I felt like I was on my soapbox, but that's it.
No, that was really good. I thought that was good.
You thought real good.
Yeah. Well, like there's the state of our union is to connect with each other, to grow, to heal, to continue the path. And we're doing the work, we're doing the growth, we're doing the healing, right? We're taking the steps. Each breath, each day, we're going closer. We may go a little bit back, we go forward, and then something happens and we start to look out a little bit more than usual. It's a very simple, slippery slope kind of situation where we end up falling into an old pattern or a rut. And I found myself doing it fairly recently. I had some really heavy emotions come out, right? Because that's what's happening right now. We're all doing the purge, the deep planetary, forced societal as well as internal purge. Everything as without, so without, so within. It's like legitimate right now, and everyone's feeling it. And so you have to continue to choose what's best for you, not what's most easiest and convenient. Because sitting down and just saying, okay, I agree with you, is easy and convenient, but it isn't actually helping you fulfill the prophecy, I guess you could say. There's something to say when you, what was it? There's so many stories. I think I mentioned this last week where, like, even looking at Buddha, right? His father, they had the prophecies about who the son would become. The father didn't want the son to leave or for him to become harmed or do something like this. So he did everything in his power to avoid the prophecies, and in doing so created it, you know? And so we ourselves, you're avoiding doing the work. If you're going to keep going out there, you're avoiding enjoying yourself. You're avoiding the growth. The change that they become is the change that you become, and you're stepping into you.
Yeah, that, I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, we've got to step into us, and we've got to step deeper into us, because, as you know, I've heard and read different things that, you know, they say that twin flames, as we go into this golden age, are the next leaders. Well, if we don't love ourselves, if we don't self-care and self-love, we can't lead anyone if we can't lead ourselves.
True.
we
Amen.
we've got to be able, we've got to step out, we've got to, you know, do that fool's journey on our own. Not talking about what's going on with the DM. We've got to take that fool's journey for us, because we're worth it. And we've got to remember that we're so worth it. If we want the DM to do it, we've got to do it. I mean, as a teacher, we tell the kids all the time, I'm not going to ask you to do anything I haven't done, and why do we have to do this? Because I had to do this, and I'm not going to have you do anything I wouldn't do or haven't done. And what a lot of the kids don't understand with this is to do our lesson plans, we do the assignment. And especially, digital design for me, because I've got to make sure everything works like they said it would in the assignment. So, I tell the kids, you're not doing anything I haven't already done. I've done it in a shorter period of time for you all, but that's where we have to be as ourselves, and not to say to get into mission, because I know when we say we need to find our mission, it makes everybody, for lack of better words, it makes everybody's butt pucker. Okay, let's just be honest. It does. You say mission and they start clicking off. And maybe a better word is purpose. Because when you find that, it's one of those things that you would do without pay. You would do because you want to help people. But we also have to keep in mind with the self-love that you do have to be paid because you do like lights and water and food and, just those creature comforts. But when you step into that and you're fully enveloped in that, it doesn't matter what the DM is doing. And, just a side note, I've been out of school for the last, about 4 days with a COVID scare. I had a student that had it, and then I had symptoms. So I was home self-quarantined. And I worked on my website, I worked on my hypnotherapy, and I just kind of did my thing in my room. That was the most wonderful quarantine. Sign me up for quarantine once a week, please. It was fantastic.
I'm gonna strike that. I'm gonna strike that from the universe. I'm gonna pull that back in. I'm gonna squash that.
Oh no.
I think that she doesn't need a quarantine to have her focus on herself.
But just have that time.
Gets to choose that. See, if you don't choose it, here's the deal. If you don't choose it, Spirit will force it upon you. Right. And this is in several different ways.
Yes. And and then literally that's what it was. I mean, how many months have you guys heard me talk about, like, I've been fighting with my karmic website, and finally it was the universe sat me down. I mean, they plopped me down, not only plopped me down, but they closed the door. I could go out to go to the bathroom and everything else had to be left at the door. And I got it done, but I got so involved and engrossed in that website, in the stuff for the hypnotherapy and writing, new hypnotherapy plans and coming up with products and stuff, that I really didn't think about the DM. And then all of a sudden I start getting messages, not from the DM, but from 3D sources that are like, he knows, he's thinking of it. This is going on. This is going on. This is what he knows. And I was kind of almost like clueless. I was like, huh? Because I was taking care of me. I was following my purpose. And I wasn't consumed at what he was doing, because I know what I know. And I'd be okay if I never saw him again. I went, years and years without ever seeing him. And I know that, if I ever get to see him again, but I know I will. So, it's one of those things that once you're in that comfort zone and then you start taking care of yourself with that knowing, it's amazing what starts happening. Like Divine Sunshine was saying, the things that are going on in the background that we have no clue about, absolutely no clue about. We don't see things, but they're thinking, they're feeling, they're realizing, they're getting those aha moments that we were getting back in July, June, August. I mean, May, April. And then May was the dress rehearsal, right? Is that how I remember right? So that time gap is getting smaller. And they're catching up. They're getting this, but the universe is just you can imagine just throwing lightning bolts right and left. And that's a funny thing that you'd say they started using Greek names and words. They start naming them after Greek gods. I'm moving out of Florida. Let me tell you that right now.
Zeus, Athena,
Yeah. No. Yeah, they start the god of war start coming through. I'm heading to Canada. Yeah.
Hades. No, I'm really going now. Take me out.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, but you've got to focus on yourself. You've got to keep moving forward. And people need to realize and remember that movement forward, even if it's just in your mission, just in what you're doing every day, just moving yourself forward, finding your happiness. Because remember, happiness comes from within. It is not an outside product that then comes in. It goes from in out. So once you find that and you're enjoying life, like April said, and you're enjoying the people around you and you're sharing that and you're sharing that light, remember that light, even though we've got masks on and everything in the grocery store, it's touching people.
It's still there.
Yep. And our soul contract isn't always just with our DM. We have soul contracts with people that we are here to help. So they're waiting for us.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got to keep moving forward. And as you move forward, they move forward. And so you can't just sit down and wait for them. Can't sit Indian style and sit there and, sip your juice box and wait, because it's not.
And powwow, and I seen them plop all at one time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what the hell? I'm in the gym and I'm seeing on the circle and they all plopped. Spirit showed me.
To be fair, planetary alignment stuff that's happening right now, it's like you feel like you're walking in water, not on it, in it, where you're not going very fast, even though you're moving. And that's okay sometimes. Sometimes we need to take that time to sit there, to restore, to reflect, to rejuvenate, and then, re-get on the path, get up, reawaken.
To be honest with you, that ain't the energy I was picking up. They was like
they're not.
Shall not be moved. It's like that kind of energy. I felt it.
They're linking arms.
Okay.
They locking arms on it. She right. You see, you there too, huh, Kathy? You see?
I saw them.
And they ain't moving. I'm looking at them. I'm in the scene right now and saying, what the hell is y'all doing? What y'all got to get up. You can't sit on that gymnasium floor there. I mean, you got to be a part of the march there. But I also want to say, with Kathy D, I just want to change. I don't think that the term mission needs to change. I think it still needs to. It's just the focus and the objective and the intent that needs to be changed there, because it is your mission is self. Your mission is bliss, finding your bliss, finding your love, and that is the mission. Because it's a job loving yourself. Hell, right. If you do it right, it is a job to do it. It's not hard, but I'm saying for some of them, it's a lot of things and layers that you have to work through. Childhood wounds, people telling you who you are outside, seeing personal experiences, seeing how things are reflected back to you, and you're taking that in and say, oh, that's who I am, instead of you really looking towards inside yourself to be able to establish who you are. That is a mission. I mean, that is something, again, that you have a goal, it's something that you want to accomplish. And I don't really have a problem with using the word mission. It's just that it's got overused. And when we heard it at the beginning, it was mission, mission, mission. You're like, hell, am I signed up for the army? Or am I doing something for God? Because I'm very confused here. The way they kept on shoving it down our throat about what mission was. But again, it's still something that, again, is a laser beam focus as to a thing in which we set forth off that we have to do. But I don't see it as a bad word. It's just like karma. We done made that a bad word. Karma is a bitch. No, karma is the bitch. It's lessons. You got to learn lessons. You got to be able to do this. Earth is a teachable planet. It teaches you. You're going to learn lessons. There's no way. Even when you check out, you're still learning lessons. So my thing is you have to you know, it's the way we're using it, and that we give everything like a bad name. Even like they say, you give love a bad name. You can do anything and give it a bad name, but mission is, to me, it's all right with me. I don't see any problems. We don't need to change the lingo or the verbiage on that at all. It is
Well,
what it
I mean, I guess I can see where you're coming from in the sense that there's so much pressure associated with everything right now, right? So
is.
if
Right.
we told you you had to do anything, there'd be a weight to it because there's a newness about it. And
Oh
I
yeah.
can see why the anchoring in, because knowing what the past is familiar and comfortable, but the whole world is forced into an uncomfortable place. So perhaps, you know, in the state of seeking change, we or seeking change and allowing for change are different things, right? And if you really want to allow for something to be different, you have to provide space for it. And that means mobility. That means not just sitting still. That means just expanding your definition of what mission is. When you start thinking about mission from an old world perspective of work and drudgery, yeah, you're going to push your heels. But mission in terms of the spiritual um, and the new world level is actually your joy, your bliss, enjoying. Life can be pleasurable. They say life is pain, or you've got to do all that. They have a lot of colloquialisms that we use, and we don't realize the power of using them. Even if it's
True.
an old term, it doesn't mean you need to start it. You need to keep it going. You can rephrase it. You can change it so that your children have that concept. Because what you look for, you find. If you say life is pain, then you're going to look for and find that pain in whatever form,
Mm-hmm.
even on a subconscious level. See, oh, I helped this person and they didn't even give me a thank you. And so this, but so you're not actually helping the person, you're looking for the thank you, right? You're looking for the recognition. So if you're honest with yourself, and this is part of the reawakening, right? I want to be recognized, I want to be enjoyed, you know? So you can actually put that out as a request, as part of who you are. That's the new boundary. That's the new you saying, "Hey, I put together this whole outfit. I put together this part for work. I deserve to be recognized for it. So then, therefore, you need to be recognized." And the universe is showing us that this is time to actually spend looking at ourselves and saying what we really want. You have people out there sacrificing themselves because they think they're supposed to look a certain way in order to be perceived as a person who is successful or on point or in mission, when maybe their mission was just to sit home that day and just take care of themselves and get that extra sleep, or tell that person off because they've been messing up all around town, and you're finally the straw that broke the monkey's back. Not saying that you need to go out and tell people off or anything like that, but this is a time for integrity to build. This is a time for you to really see yourself and what is you, so that when you come to your twin, you know what is us, right? Because they're going to have a them. They're not suddenly going to be all about you and all about all the things that you're about. They're going to be themselves. They're going to be on their own little space within the mission. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you come together and you have a co-mission. Sometimes you don't. You just work together as a family unit, as a growth, as a vibration. And that's what we're anchoring in, a vibration. Not just we're anchoring in an old paradigm, we're anchoring in non-movement. No, we're anchoring in flow. We're anchoring in the enjoyment of the body. We're anchoring in heaven on earth. And how can you be in heaven on earth if you're ignoring your physicality, if you're ignoring your health or your mental well-being, or even, issues you have with yourself or family members? You've got to spend some time accepting and loving yourself.
Yep. And that's the big thing. That's where we are. I told you all in the month of September. It was pretty much, I told you, they kept showing me your backyard. Take care of your own backyard. Not looking at anybody else. Tend to your own grass, paying attention to watching it grow, Pay attention to, the rhythm of things, and just observe and seeing about your part. It's not about the DM and what they're doing and what the karmic situation. It's just really getting to the point where you're taking all that energy and you really practicing on yourself. That's another thing that a lot of people, these newbies that are coming up, they're not really getting that. This attention of outward. It's more so inward. That's what they've been trying to, and spirit and source have made you to go back within self. And if we can get that and understanding that, then again, like Kathy D, it draws your counterpart much closer to you when you start doing that. I'd even know that with myself. It's just like now, it's like, what do I want? I think Behatilife, she brought up a good thing. I was watching her too. She was saying a lot of us that are light workers, how again we are so about our gifts, and how spirit is now kind of pushing us to kind of like stop giving out. But she told us to do a list of 7 things that we're grateful for and 3 things that we are missing in life. 7 things that we're grateful for and 3 things that we are missing in life. And then sit down and have source or your A team or whoever you want to call it, or your spiritual guides or your angels or whatever, and say, work with me in getting these 3 things that I'm missing. And I thought that was a great thing, because again, we're so much of, again, us that's in the spiritual work of giving out to other people that we forget that we know it's some things that's missing. And a lot of times, especially when you're strong, a lot of times they think, and I think she said even with divines, this kind of journey that we're on, we're kind of not understood by people on the outside. We're only understood by the people who are really collectively in the trenches, as I call, doing the same work or the same activities or self lessons that we're going through. And I thought that was great that she's saying that again, that we have to take time out to really think, because when she said make that list of 3 things, I had to kind of like really think, like, I know some things that's missing. I can't put the finger or wording to it, but I was like, yeah, it is things, because I'm always seeing the needs in others and not seeing things in self. And I think that's another thing when we're talking about practicing self-love. That's something else that we have to kind of look and really say, okay, let's get serious. What is it with these distractions of everybody? I'm with the baby, I'm with my daughters, I'm with my mom, I'm with the job, I'm with this. What is it that you really seriously are missing in life, that you feel like, again, that will take you to the next level? And then really ask for source to actually bring that to you. And we ain't talking about the DM, bump that, or whatever, but just really saying, again, what are some 3 core things that you feel that will make you whole, or as Kirk says from the Twin Flame All Stars, that make you all right in your soul, that make that soul work. Because his belief and theory is if your soul is together, you will draw in your divine counterpart. You don't need to look and see what's happening with your counterpart and what they're doing. If your soul is whole, it's going to draw everything to you. So that's something, again, I thought that was a real good exercise to do. So some of you all that maybe not be practicing self-love, that's something that you maybe could do, is to draw that list of 7 things that you're grateful for and 3 things that you're saying, these things are core things that I think that are missing in my life too.
Yeah, and actually tomorrow my website will be up, and there's actually a whole long blog post on that I have on self-love and how to go about it, and suggestions on what you can do for self-love and to take care of yourself, because we've really got to. My mom always said, if you don't take care of number 1, nobody else will. And it took me the longest time to understand that. It's the same as we were talking earlier, it's the same as the analogy of the oxygen mask in an airplane. You put it on yourself first, so then you can help others, because you're not going to help anybody if you're gasping for air.
Right.
So you've got to take care of yourself. You've got to take care of, the main person. If you are, not feeling whole or not.
No!
If you're not feeling whole, or you have to look at kind of probably where that's leaking out. There's some kind of, women, we got a lot of holes. That was horrible. I'm sorry. Kathy, did we miss you? Back to Freaky Friday. So when you're leaking, we got things falling out of these. The actual, like the energetic principle of woman, the physicality, our physiology, we are vessels. And we do like to kind of fill that vessel. So we usually kind of fill it with external sources of energy. But when we turn that energy on ourselves and we start to fill our own cup, we realize that we have a sustainable source. You know, if you're always looking for someone to fill that space, be that self-love or self-worth, or even just spending the time on your health, taking the time to make that smoothie or cook that meal, or even give yourself a little foot massage, or just giving yourself that 5 minutes of meditation. You know, you give 5 minutes to so-and-so, the neighbor, talking your ear off when they weren't adding or contributing to anything but your disorder. You could have spent 5 minutes giving that to yourself, and meditation, in a self-love exercise, in any of that will help fill you, allow you to fill your cup or your vessel, and then have that pour over. And when you come into full union and into physical union with your counterpart, if when they come in with their masculine energy, because it doesn't have to be the physical masculine, when they come in with that masculine energy, you then have this ripeness or this juiciness or this space where you can just be in the moment, be in that pleasurable experience, not attracting or giving that neediness vacuum. You just got so plenty, you can keep going and know that that's where the exercise of, am I attached to this? I know that I love this so much that I will still continue to have love for it, whether it's right here next to me, inside of me, or if it's elsewhere. I still am full of the love for this energy. I still have that for myself. I was doing that exercise too, and maybe that's the exercise we'll do together. And maybe we could do a co-visualization or something together, Kathy D, for that. But just building as much love, and we can point it outwardly at first, because sometimes we need to be yoked. Sometimes we need to have that energy pulled and stoked out of us. And then we just turn that in and mirror it and pour it to ourselves, where we create a force field in that egg, and that egg is just bubbled. And then every cell, every little fiber of being. Let's do that. You guys ready? You ready for an exercise? Let's do an exercise.
Oh, now wait a minute. CPN in Texas, real quick, just asked, she said she's very cold. Has anyone passed away recently? Not that I know of. So, I don't know.
The stepmom. The stepmom?
Who's stepmom?
Yeah, and didn't your husband's mom?
No, his mom did, but that was back in July.
I don't know. I didn't know she considered that recent.
I'm going to say that odds are pretty good in the stream of things that unfortunately someone has recently passed on. But in this group, I'm not sure. My computer died. That's just... You know you're out for that. You know you're out for that.
It's the step. I mean, what is she? I mean, am I off on the thing? Or who is she then to you? My son's best little friend just died, which was my best friend's son.
Oh, that's sad.
CPN, I told you I'm gonna get you on this show. We're just gonna do open. We're gonna have you on here. You're just gonna take calls. Keep it up. Keep it up on the sidelines. Once you get on here, and I won't hear no talk about, I'm shy. Shy my behind. Get your behind up here on this show and start taking these calls. We're gonna do a super chat. $3. Every time she answer you.
Well,
yeah, long-time listener, first-time caller. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, April. I'm sorry. Go, please, dear.
It was just sending some love at V Moon's son and the family and her, and that's a rough loss. We're having a lot of just people transition right now, and that should emphasize why we get to be living the sweet life now, not in holding patterns, not in frozen mode. And seriously, the shit you're procrastinating on, you need to do.
Yes, you're right.
Because spirit is forcing us into a space. The universe is forcing us. God is saying, focus on it right now. There's a million distractions. Time is going faster. Has anyone noticed that? Hello? Where did the
Yeah,
time
it's the
go?
end of September. Look like we
We're
just got
almost
August.
exactly. We just started this conversation and now it's over. Okay.
You're right, it is.
So be precious with the moments. You want to feel good and enjoy. And you at your best, you full of this sweetness, of this just suppleness of your femininity, it allows a space to be nurturing, but not so soft that you just float off into a puffy cloud. Have that inner masculine as well, give you some drive, give you some focus, make you work on your website without having to go through this. So that's an easier transition. Where
Mhm.
she can bust me too. I got plenty of stuff that I've dragging dragging on, and and you know we're here with you. You're not doing this alone.
Yeah,
Seriously.
and V Moon, I'll tell you too. My daughter, unfortunately, who's 15, has had, and especially in this past summer, had two friends commit suicide, and it's been a hard journey. And one of the best things we were told by a good friend of ours who is very spiritual and talks with angels and all of this, and he actually has a business in Orlando. Um, and he told her, he said, keep your vibration high, keep your vibration high, so
Mm,
they know it's okay to go. And then when it's, when it's right, they'll still, communicate with you because she has that ability. So his friend will still send him signs. There will be things he'll see and hear, and just to know that he's okay. So he's got to, I think therapy is a wonderful road for that. But just know that, trying to keep his vibration high, and to tell him it's not all right to be sad, because that's part of it. You have to go through those phases of grieving.
oh,
But you've got to, but just know that he'll get signs, he'll get shown things that he'll know that are just from his friend.
right. And at the oddest moments,
Hmm.
they'll show up. Most definitely. Did you have something, April? I thought the spirit had came in.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Actually, what I want to do is create a container. So Kathy D, create a container. Go. She's a miracle worker. We're all miracle workers. You.
We're all miracle workers.
Okay. So everyone, take a deep breath. Start to feel in your body. I got this beautiful ball that keeps me in motion, that allows me to always have a sense of kind of freedom and movement, right? And so wherever you're locking up in your body, I want you to notice. It's important because your body tells you where you are holding, where you are not allowing flow, and where you are allowing flow. And there are several layers to that. But right now, just feel where you are. Feel who you are. Feel thankful for having the skin that you have, the body that you do have. So allow your shoulders to kind of roll. And I want you to feel your energy around you. You're in a protective bubble. This bubble goes from inside to out, the colors of silver and white to gold to rose gold to a violet and then to white again. So similar to when you look at a regular bubble and you look at any direction or angle of that bubble, it has iridescence to it, and it's protecting you and allows you the safety, this container to build in. And we're going to call this your vessel. So this vessel, we're going to allow energy to just flow through your body and fill up the energy around you. So let's tap our feet on the ground, reawaken our connection to the earth. And I want you to pull up the energy from the center of the earth into your ankles, your knees, your hips, and into your root chakra. Go ahead and squeeze your lower tantien or your just all your butt muscles. Just squeeze your whole butt. Just curl it. Even if it curls your whole back, just squeeze and release. And squeeze all that, your lower, curl your toes and open it, relax. Oh, that got the energy going. I feel somebody right now who's having some blocks in the right knee. To this person, Spirit is saying, you need to trust me. You get to trust, or I'm going to. It's a pre-warning. Trust your instincts, trust your flow, and if we say it's time to slow down and write this and focus on yourself, please do, because you're fighting the flow of the universe right now. Okay, so back to everybody. Okay, so here, take a deep breath in. Allow that energy to flow up from the earth into your root, into your your sacral. Squeeze your lower abs, your upper abs, your higher chest. Just keep pulling that energy up through the throat. Let it curl to the third eye and out through the crown. As you open your eyebrows, as you open the top of your head, you feel the universe coming down to meet you, swirling from deep, deep in the great beyond down into the crown chakra, into the third eye, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, the sacral, the root, down to the earth. So you are a flowing funnel of energy, both from the earth up to the heavens and the heavens down to the earth. Now you're going to allow the energy to just start to swirl around you in your egg. So it's coming up from the earth and to the heaven, and it's just pouring out through your heart, through your elbows, through your wrists, and through your palms. As it flows through your palms, we're going to go ahead and let that energy build and fall to your feet. The energy that's falling out of your hands is this gold, and it starts to fill up your bubble. It's up to your ankles. And it just keeps pouring and pouring and funneling into you and through your heart, out through your arms, into your hands, and it fills up to your knees and your hips. It starts to fill up to your solar plexus and up to your heart. And it's just pouring out of you. Your hands are just charging up all of this fluid, liquid, golden energy pouring through the universe, through the earth, through you. It's up to your eyelids now. It's up to your crown. It fills your bubble up to the tiny tippy tip, and it starts to pour outside of the very top of the crown of your bubble and fills up the room that you're in. And then that room starts to fill up, and that room starts to fill up the next 2, 3 rooms, apartments, houses, blocks, cities. And we are now surrounded with this chi, this force, this energy, this vibration that's coming straight from you to you. And the universe is going to now show you back all of this love, this energy, this space that you created, this peace, this calm, this love that you have allowed to come into the space through the channel of you. It wants to show you how thankful it is. And all of a sudden, the energy just starts to pour back into you. This new, richer, golder light starts to pour in into the cities around you, into the space around you, into the building, into the room, and into you. You are filled with an even greater, more beautiful, more luminescent gold light. Allow it to fill you up, and and it starts to now pour from the universe into you, into your hands, into your body, filling up the body, filling up the aura. And now you're full of light and love. Now open your eyes and start to tap your feet and tap your hands, tap your chest, come in the body. And this is how we're going to open ourselves to the love of the universe. All right. Welcome back.
Interesting. Yes, beautiful. I feel peaceful. I feel filled. Wonderful. What's happening? You see something in the chat that seems like a...
CPN in Texas says, Kathy D, read my last question to you.
Okay. All righty.
She wore a blue dress with white beads.
Who wears blue dress with white beads?
No,
Okay.
but my mom did, but she passed away like 18 years ago.
She's been showing up a lot. Remember, I showed you the Paris.
Yeah, she has been showing up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It was a navy blue dress with white piping around the neck, and then she wore white beads with it.
Okay. She made me sit on it with my butt. Yeah, the woman is around you. Okay. All right.
That's probably my mom.
Okay. Okay.
I want to say this. Those of you that are kind of stuck on the self-love and what you need to work on and what you need to fix, and I'm going to throw Divine Sunshine out there. You know, she does past life regression and that kind of stuff, and now I didn't do it with her, but I know she's wonderful at it. I did this last few days while I was home. I was working on my hypnotherapy stuff and did some self-hypnotherapy, and I went back with the intent purpose of seeing the lessons that kept repeating. That was what I asked for. And as I did it, I saw Greece, and I saw myself as a young boy kind of in the times of Jesus. I saw England, and then just little like flashes of things.
Okay.
But it was real fascinating to see the different things that happened. And other than the one where I was a little boy, and that was kind of a longer snippet. It wasn't a whole lot of detail on that. I just kind of knew by the feel what the time period was. Mm-hmm. But the other two, there was a man in both of those, and they looked different, but the eyes were the same. And it was real eye-opening to things that had happened in this lifetime that carried over, that had repeated. So, you know, if you feel like, well, I don't know what else I need to do. I don't know what's stuck on the bottom of the coffee pot. I don't, you know, I take care of myself and I do salt baths and I do all this. I don't know why I'm, you know, do that. If that's something that you believe in, go and do that, because it's absolutely fascinating.
Yeah, and it will, and your higher self will you back to those points of past lives that are really prevalent for that time to help you with what's going on with now. Because don't sit there and you would think that, oh, she's going to take me back to my days of being Cleopatra with Anthony, because it's going to help me to understand what's going on with the twin flame now. I mean, it was like, I could even testimony about myself when I did the past life regression. It helped me. I talked about my life being married and having a husband that died on me, and I had ignored him being dead for several days. And I was getting up, fixing breakfast, putting on clothes and everything. And so when I came back, and I was like, well, what was that for? I did that a year before, and that was before my dad had passed. And that was to help me to understand that this time I would do passing away of somebody that I love more honorable than I did then. I wouldn't be in the state of denial. I would actually do something. I would be actually active. And so that's what I did. And so then when he passed away, I was able to say, okay, that time I did it in an honorable way. I didn't create any more karma like I did the last time by me not accepting my husband's passing. And so that was an interesting way. So that is why doing that work is always great, because it will shed light on things that will help you as far as why these things are showing up, or things are
Mm-hmm.
happening in your life. Very much
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
And take the time to meditate. That you just can't express that enough. And 5-10 minutes really. What are you going to lose? Set your alarm 5 minutes early. Lay there in bed before you go, and do your morning ritual, whatever it is, on if it's gratitude, if it's prayers, whatever it is, bubble up, and then meditate. It's really not that hard. And when you have the opportunity to have a long meditation, do it. There's nothing that's going to fall apart or stop if you take 30 minutes to an hour. Go to bed an hour early, if you can, and do a meditation. It's amazing what you feel. Now, I will say, after doing the past life regression, it was not, I by no means did I come out of that all, happy and joyous. There was a lot of, anger, and almost like turmoil. Not really anger, but just like this, like I was caught in my own body kind of thing going on. So just be prepared for that. That would be the one thing I would warn you. Yes, it's very eye opening, and you keep getting little downloads, for the next few days. But be prepared. You don't come out. It's not like a normal meditation, or when you do like a hypnotherapy, and you come out and you usually feel very good and very refreshed. That one wasn't one that you felt really great at.
Yeah, and that's not all the experiences. It just depends
It's
on
not. It just depends on, and it depends on what you ask for. If
right.
you just want general knowledge, then most of the time you come out feeling really good. But mine was very pinpointed, very much. I wanted to know what the past cycles were.
Right. Yeah. You asked for the get down there dirty with the Brillo pad at the coffee and getting all that crud in the little corners there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But
like,
that.
if
Mhm.
you're gonna go into it, because I can feel already that a lot of the veils are thinning and or evaporating, depending
Oh,
on who you're talking to about what's happening energetically. So you could potentially go there yourself
Mm-hmm.
with your energies, and with your skill set. I would set a timer or
Yes.
something to call you back, because
Mm-hmm.
our soul's energies are very powerful, and we can give up and or leave energy in certain places. A lot of times that's what happens with trauma. We've left a lot of our bits of our soul or energy in that space, and we were terrified and gave it kind of out there as a kind of a disassociation protection kind of thing. So I have one of those gifts that allows me to kind of help go in and out of people and lifetimes and stuff like that. And when you, a lot of people have the capability of doing so, they just like someone to hold a space for them,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that they can be safely anchored back into this reality, because they realize that time can be, if you want to be able to see a past life, you need to first know that it exists or it can happen. If
Mm-hmm.
past life has an issue with you, you maybe you can think of parallel lives. I like to think of it that way, because sometimes things are happening energetically at the same time that they happen in another lifetime. I
so
don't
true.
want to ignore what V Moon was saying about the seriousness of the fact that the child was harmed by the parent and the life was lost that way. Often these are energetic markers that have happened in multiple lifetimes in one form or another. I'm not saying what their energy dynamic is, but that's a very intense dynamic. So just holding the space for your son to feel and have all of these emotions, and providing a safe place for him to be himself and how he's going to process that information, because that soul interlinking and that's a
All right. That wasn't me this time. It was not me. Oh.
For me, I'm like, what the what?
my mom is calling me. All right, well, gotta go, mom's calling.
um,
uh
yeah, mom's calling for real.
Yeah. Literally, she said, "Mom's calling," and we just said that was my mom.
Oh no, I didn't take that off. I don't know. I thought I did. When I come up, that's
It just
interesting.
popped back up. It literally
Dude,
popped.
Kathy D, go talk to your mama, please.
It
Ask
popped
her to
back
help
up
you
when
sell your house.
I ain't even touched nothing. I'm like,
Ask
what
her
the?
to help you sell your house.
it
You better
popped
get
back up when April said, "Mom's calling."
Oh my God!
Yeah.
You gotta talk to your mom. Okay, people, it's been real. Mom trumps everything. I should know. If mom started taking over the computer, she's like, that's it. I'm about to give you CPN her number. I'm about to give it to her so she could call. So it's been really nice. This is really the playground experience, like old school. Your mama calling for you, Kathy. She at the gate. It's time for you to go.
at 3:20. Well, she's got time to meditate with her and talk to her and spill her beans and talk about what you want to be doing, what you are doing. You know what I mean? Mommy's gonna open some doors. Things are gonna happen. You're gonna either fly me out there or you fly in here. So we're gonna do something.
Well, I've been getting all these things on YouTube too about Visit Hawaii, and I haven't signed up for any of that. And it's just because of your interest, Hawaii. I'm like, well, hello. I'm waiting for the tickets to show up, and I will visit Hawaii.
Okay, so real talk. V Moon says, "Is there anything? What any tips on how to manifest a move from this place? I've been praying so hard, visualizing a new place. Even my son is praying and wanting to move."
Well,
Don't try so hard.
that and
Don't.
actually like be putting feelers out there. How are you taking what steps are you taking to the physical? Are you looking? Are you
True,
calling
true.
places? Are you making a list? Are you budgeting? Are you figuring out how to buy? What's the kind of move you want? You're saying you just want to move. What kind of move? And then you can also pray and since you know the young man is in between worlds, he has the ability to help guide as well, right? Ancestors to guide the spirits. Because I know you feel this kid around, yeah? At least your son does for sure. If they were like best friends like that. So he's going through some stuff. So, he's always gonna have that love and that friend will have that love for him on the other side. But the other side isn't really much further from here. They're just more expanded until they no longer identify with the human identity of themselves, and then they become part of the all.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's several different. That's why I say parallel lives, because you could be in multiple experiences, alive in one, not alive in the other. I mean, I know these ladies have jumped in and out of body as well. So, so what would you like, my dear?
Yeah, you got
Where you want to move?
right. Faith without works is dead. So I mean,
Yeah.
then actually doing something that's putting behind. I mean, this is really the perfect time. I didn't see so many of my friends on Facebook going to buy houses and doing and moving underneath this. So, that is not an excuse as to why you can't, because it's COVID and the pandemic. No, this is the best time for you to be an opportunist or to take advantage of what's going on now. So again, my
Royal
thing.
honey.
What right? Yes. Like I had said, with me, I know when we were looking for a place and moving, I just started what I did and how I manifested was I went to go buy the China. I started buying the other stuff. I started going backwards. That's how mom and I did when we got time to move out and I wanted to find a place. I went and got my appliances. I went and got the China. I mean, everything. I got comforter bed sheets. I started backwards. It's like you ain't even got the place. I don't care. It's coming. I'm just going to go buy this stuff. And some kind of way the universe is going to supply it. So if you want to do it that way, but that at least let the universe know, the angels that are sitting back, oh, she for real. Like, she going to buy a China place and she ain't got the place. Oh, we got to get on it, Archangel Michael or Ralphie or Uriel. Let's get our behind into gear. Yeah, Gabe, like, I got this. Okay, let's have her to be able to communicate with somebody who's the mortgage. And everything started falling into place. I mean, it was really divine about my first place that I had bought of how that did. But I started backwards. I just started getting the little things that I knew that I could, and then relied upon universe to give me every step from that point. So that's another thing I can say that I've proven that I've done. That I can say also is a way of being able to do that too. You just start the list, know what you're looking for, but then also start doing some universal physical things.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
and you've got it. Like, I love what CPN in Texas says. Write it down as what you want, as if you have it now, and make it very, very detailed, very detailed. And even better yet, after you write it all down and then read over it a few times, fold it up, like maybe stick it under your pillow, whatever, for a day or so. Pull it out, read it again. Do that for like about 3 days, and then burn it. Release it into the universe. Let them take care of it. You keep doing, if you're going to work backwards, start getting stuff together. Start packing. Start packing. That's the best thing to do. It starts moving that energy. Start packing.
All
And
Well,
then,
right. She says she's in a trailer. If you can also try put it on the market and see what else the options are, and if it's the movable kind of trailer, you can move that, or you can go tiny home, or you can go mobile. Whatever it is that you think is going to help you. But one thing that she said in her her message was that she's this place reminding us of how evil the world is. I want you to rephrase that, because the world is not evil. The acts of men can be evil. The world is, and we are her children. So we can either learn to flow and vibrate higher for everyone, so all of that darkness is flushed out. Does he have mental disorder? We don't know what's going on with the full extent of why things happen the way they did. And it's unfortunate that this young man passed away. And I am not saying that that should not be spent some time like just mourning and purging that energy. But the world is not an evil place. It's a very beautiful, loving place. It's the acts that can be from misguided, unbalanced, just people who don't understand that happiness, again, comes from within. And if we're doing that, we're giving that self-love and that self-care, and we're projecting that and teaching others how to love themselves and be balanced, and realize that everything that we are doing is exemplifying. It's all being mirrored back to us. Everything that when we show a parent, when we talk to how we talk to our children, when we talk to them calmly and rationally, when we offer them love when they're in a state of hysteria or processing emotion that's new to them, we are now exempling and showing others how to do that. And when we stand up for the children who are getting hollered at and yelled at by a parent who wasn't taught how to express, how to teach a child through calmness and love. They were taught how to teach through fear and intimidation. We need to help focus and restructure that as well. I'm not saying put yourself in harm's way if something is going crazy or chaotic, but we really can change everyone around us just by being. So how do you embody being you? How are you? What's something that you can do for yourself? I'm going to address the moon specifically. What can you do for yourself that shows this self-love and self-care? What can you show your son how to just be himself, to express his emotions without harming another person? Because you don't have to harm another person to show that what you're processing emotionally. Sorry, I didn't mean to just commandeer that, but I was like, the world is not an evil place. The world is a very beautiful place.
no,
That's what we're here for. Do not apologize. Please don't.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that me sitting on the line, going into my old self? I don't need to work on myself. I'm just going to over apologize and be timid and not say nothing to nobody about nothing.
Please don't fall back to that. That's what we're here for. That is it. Okay, she saved face. Okay, well, I mean, I'm gonna give the number for real. So you can talk to her.
So tonight, when we're all talking to Kathy D's mom, so she apparently wants to be out here granted wishes, because Kathy D is a honorary fairy grandmother herself.
not grandmother,
Give
godmother.
it time. Give it time.
No, my
I said
babies are
time.
15
I said
and
time.
10.
We all know that.
Yeah, don't you put down now. You really changed the verbiage on that.
Oh, that's the blessing, right? The legacy, the smiling faces, the happy kids of
Yeah,
the world.
most definitely. That is. That is. All right, ladies, you got any? Because it's been 1:20. You got any last thoughts or anything like that before we wrap it on up and take it on home there? We'll be praying for the moon and our sun on that. Uh,
Yes.
most definitely sending positivity on that. That's just something that's a
I,
day by day process
I,
too.
I want to bring in the divine feminine. How are we ignoring ourselves? How are we not allowing ourselves to enjoy our femininity? A lot of us have been putting ourselves back or tying ourselves down or holding ourselves back energetically. And I think we should just let it go, let ourselves be free. And when you feel comfortable, even if it's just you in your shower singing your favorite song,
I am. Uh-huh.
just let that love come to you. Allow yourself to receive. Somebody says, I want to buy you a dinner. And you say, no, no, no. I just, no, no, no. But all you want to be is romanced and enjoyed and adored. Let yourself receive something. Even if it's somebody opening the door for you. Yes, they might be paid to do it, but at least.
Well,
So
I'm not hanging out the places April is, where people are paid to open the door. And
They do
I
that
got
in the grocery stores here now.
Oh, see, I got the little 3-year-old with a lollipop and the bottle that keeps running back and forth in front of the grocery door. He's the one that opens it for me. That
oh,
that's a little kid that always finds me.
no,
Will work for lollipops.
hmm His name's Sebastian. For whatever reason, he's always there, and his mother's screaming, "Sebastian, get over here!" And he stands there and giggles as the door opens and closes.
oh, I'm trying to find it right now so I don't forget to share it right now. Because I will. You know how I get. You like, well, then you were supposed to share something. What you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. I know my mind. So I get off of here, I come back and do Rotina. Okay. That is it. Was anything else? It was something, but I can't remember. Whatever.
You got a
Uh,
card?
huh?
You got a card?
No, I had no cards down. Well, I got cards down here, but like, what's
She's like, let me flip a coin.
the only card? Oh, the Moonology. This is right here.
Oh,
Because don't we have a moon? Wasn't it just a moon? Isn't it a moon
just
right
a
now?
new moon. Yeah, we're still in the new moon.
Just had it. Just had it. That's interesting. Down here, my other cards are. My main squeezes is upstairs. Okay, so this one is my main squeeze. My main squeeze is nothing will come of this situation, void of curse of moon. So again, if you keep on kind of marinating and staying in that type of energy of vibe, I hear the word void, almost like a checkout. And you ask somebody, you need the void? I need a void on aisle 3. I need a void in cashier things. So you need to kind of avoid those things that no longer serve you, because those energies you cannot keep on continuously resonate. And that's where we're at right now. Is a new. Everybody said that this new moon that we brought in is bringing up a newness, like a new chapter, a new everything. And so that's where we are. So that's interesting that Spirit had me to draw up. Nothing will come of this situation. Not staying in that same energy, that same vibe, sitting on the floor, talking about singing Kumbaya, we shall not be moved. That kind of energies is not going to be able to move you anywhere as
Yeah,
well.
and the next 3 moons are supposed to be extremely powerful. We've got super moons coming in and the new moons that are coming in. Just so much release is what we've got to do. Holding on to it isn't serving us anymore.
Right, right. Seem like on the edge, like let go.
Well, and that's kind of like that fool's journey. That's where we're letting go. We're taking that leap of faith. We're going to let it go. If it's meant to be, it's going to be. If it's not, it's not.
Right. And sometimes the fool's journey goes both ways, those cards. Sometimes they got people leap, and then they have some of them do that trust fall.
Mm-hmm.
So that's two ways. Again, when you talk about that fool's journey, you have to think about it. Is they asking you to surrender, or are they asking you to actually leap forward? Some of us is asking us to surrender because we've been holding on and trying to do it our way with control. And some of it is, again, it's like, no, you've been standing there. Now it's time for you to move and go forward too. It's two energies, but they're still saying the same thing. It's still a, that was the word of the day we had in today's class. The kids couldn't get it too much. Advance, to move forward or to progress. And what was the question? Oh my God, and these kids, they couldn't get it. And they kept on getting
You should have whipped out your tarot cards. I tell you got to teach them tarot.
It was take another turn. And they was like, they didn't think that was to advance. And I was like, okay, well, let's talk about it. Could taking another turn be a way of you to progress? It's like, well, you're not doing anything. You're just kind of standing still. So we had like a debate going back and forth. That kind of threw them off with them saying, because I don't see no movement. So how are you advancing?
They don't play board games, though. That's the thing. They don't sit down as a fan and play board games anymore. So they don't understand, advance to, Park Place or, pass go, collect $200. Things like that are lost on them. I'll say stuff like that to my middle schoolers and they go, huh?
Right, yeah. So that was interesting. The word of the day was advance. So yeah, that's it. What that full journey is like to advance.
That is very interesting.
Uh-huh. That was today's word. Told you. Divine Sunshine's universe. Advance. Denial and advance. That's been the two words. Denial, advance. Get out of denial so you can advance.
And it's not a river in Egypt.
That would be a hard one for me too, though. To take a new turn. Or what was it? To
move forward.
Right. The advance is to take another turn, another
turn.
Because the thing was, lose your turn. They was like, no, that's not the advance. Move forward to go. They was like, yeah, that's advance. They got that. Take another turn. And a lot of them was like, I'm going to leave that alone. I don't know what that is. Move back 3 spaces. They was like, no, that's not the advance. Oh, and skip ahead 2 spaces, throwing them off too. They didn't know that meant to advance either.
Interesting. So if we're taking this for metaphors, yeah, for our life, the spectrum of what it is inside of us, not only do we not know that trying again means we're going forward, and not only do we not even know that when we're so advanced, we do it so well that we're advancing, we sometimes hold ourselves back energetically just to kind of say that we're keeping pace, but the others weren't really moving, right? You don't want to necessarily be getting all of that aftermath. You want to be there in the forefront, moving the water. You're the ripple in the pond, baby. That's how we do this. That's how we play this game. Anyway.
That's why I teach, because those moments, it's like, I gotta see where the world is going. When I look at this, I'm like, they didn't get it. I was like, seriously? No, I don't get it. I was like, okay. Interessante. All right, there, as we see for the mouth of babes, just like the Bible says. That we had there. So if you want some more interesting lessons from these ladies, make sure that you hit our own Kathy D. Sign up with FishLifeCoaching.com so she can help you with those daily thoughts and get your mind right so you can be able to advance to the next level. See how yes, kind of life coaching. She can do the hypnotherapy. She can do all that good stuff for you all. You got any specials? This is the time. You got any specials on or anything?
Specials yet, but the new package should be coming out within the next month, and I'm really excited about that one. And but the new website will be up hopefully tomorrow. So and it looks really, really good. I'm real proud of it. So.
All right now, hey now, all right then. And then she takes a whatever she's eating over there. Let's go to our own. Why? God is over here eating on air. No,
I'm so hungry.
do you, boo, do you. Made for this goldenlife.com, our Golden Lifestyles Unlimited. Yeah, so you can make sure you get that good meditation that you all said that made you go into that Zen space so it can help you advance to the next level too as well. So you want to make sure you get those meditations too. You got any specials? Let me ask that too. Do you have any special thing going?
It's like a 15-minute and a 30-minute consultation type of special. So
Okay.
you talk about anything you want to do work on, anything you have issues with, whether you want to go Akashic record, if you want to do just enhance your own abilities, because we're all very, very gifted and everyone's coming online, but sometimes you just kind of need guidance or at least connections to the right full pathway to start fully unlocking your gifts, and they just get better and better. And what's beautiful is, you talk about the advancement. We're in that state where we're super advancing right now, and it's setting the alignments correctly so that you can just surprise yourself even more next year, because we're going into the golden life, people. This is what the age is. It's the next golden age. Right. And there's that darkness before the dawn, which we're going through, because come on, this year's been like pulling teeth with no Novocaine. Some of us were medicated, some of us were not. Anyway, yes, this golden life.
It's been golden. And also make sure that you also check out divineunisouls11.co. I've seen some of you all in the chat talking about the childhood, healing the inner child as well. If you have some issues with that, please make sure you check out my website for that, because I have workbooks and I also have the free playlist that talks about that too. If there's some things that you want to work on as far as going all the way to the root of things and family issues that you might be dealing with as well, you could be able to look and find that. Also, we have all our package, all our gifts clustered into one package called the Playground Experience, where you get the mind, the body, and the spirit, the soul, all in there. We touch upon that to help you. You come up with the concept, and then we will help you to find out. Or again, we were talking about last time, we said that if you have any problems with connecting with things, we've seen that according to research, disassociation, you have issues with that what we're doing on our program is very good, because we touch upon every area that needs to be touched upon in order to help bring you back to associate, to be able to feel, to connect with things in a healthy and proper way. So this is a good way for you to be able to use that too. So come and check us out on divineunisouls11.co too as well with that. All right, get us on out of here. Oh, and as always, I forget this. If you like what we're doing, make sure that you click like, share, subscribe to find out what time we're coming on. My apologies, I did it a little later. Most time I give you a little warning earlier, but make sure you do that and smash that notification bell so you can know as far as when we're coming on for our lives. All right, then get us on out of here, Kathy D.
All right, guys. Get all the sand out of your shoes and your socks. Pick up your own buckets. Leave it cleaner than it was before. And you the best life ever. See you real soon.
Yes. And yes, our own April Williams. So why you
gotta stay blessed. Stay golden. And remember, you were made for this golden life.
Yeah, and always stay uplifted, stay motivated, stay ascending. Namaste and namago. All right, until next time. Woo, to the Sandbox Edition live Q&A. See you next time.